Good morning. Good morning. Of course, I'm saying that, and a truck is driving by, so kind of loud. But hey, and check me out. I'm actually wearing some color. I know, crazy, huh? I'm used to wearing my black hoodies, but um, the weather's so nice now. I don't want to wear them. Um, so check me out. It is the new season. I love this weather. Now, I don't know where you live. Feel free to pop it into the comments if you want, again, or be private as I'll get out, totally. I live in eastern Pennsylvania, and today is what? Wednesday, May 22nd, and this morning just looks so delightful. I loved waking up this morning. First of all, I will say you can tell you're an old person when waking up at like 7 or 7:15 and not having to get up from bed feels like you've slept in. Like, ooh, look, I've slept so late. It's like past 7. Now, I say this because I woke up and it was warm. It was mainly a little bit warm. I got to change my pajama pants too. I'm still like literally this time last week it was like 20 or 30 degrees colder. But this week, this morning I woke up, sun was shining in the sky. I could see it kind of peeking in through the curtains, and it was like nice warm light, like the kind of yellowy light that comes in with the sunlight. It wasn't kind of gray and just like light out. And I love having the windows open. Now, not so much for the fact that there is, I was walking through our tiki room yesterday. Used to be the dining room, but we don't dine, so we changed it into something we wanted. And I noticed there's this little yellow film of pollen there. But I love having the windows open. I love in the morning walking around the house as my tea is hottening. That's an official term. Opening up the blinds and letting the air and the light through. I was pretending this morning actually that I was like, oh, I'm like on vacation and I feel like I'm in Airbnb. So I'm feeling pretty good this morning. How are you doing? How are you doing this morning? I hope you're doing well. And if you are, let's celebrate it. Let's find out the little things. Let's pay attention. I think I'm going to do some writing about this today. I've been doing, just so you know, a little bit more kind of long form content, some kind of, just testing out the waters, just writing about stuff that is going through my head and my heart that I think might help you on the Destination Decluttered Facebook page. So you're interested in that. I've made a promise to myself to get in the habit, back in the saddle again. Yay, Nursey Nita's good. Yay, Adelia's great. It's your day off. Day off. Good morning, Erin, with your little coffee cup and my huge tea mug. Yeah, and I was thinking this morning about paying attention and spending your time. So I'm going to riff on that because there's some really good stuff there. So when you're feeling good, pay attention to what feels good and write that shit down, people. Write it down so you don't forget it. When you write it down, I know I've written down, and if we haven't met before, I always kind of do this. I start talking to you as if we know each other because I see some familiar names. I see Chrissy and Nursey Nita and Erin and all sorts of fucks, Fiery Angel, but yet maybe we've never met before. So you're like, who's this woman on TikTok, on my TikTok feed? Do I even want to like hit the live button? So my name is Beth. Destination Decluttered. Decluttering life coach. More good, less ungood. Okay, Erin, be careful what you wish for. Shut up out there. This is the bummer. This is when I realize that we do live in a busy area because when the windows are open, it can be noisy. Mug for Erin. More good. Now I will say this, less ungood. If you get a mug, if there's Destination Decluttered mugs, you get to promise me. I can send you a link to get one. We can figure that out between you and me. We'll figure it out. And but you get a promise to donate some mugs that you don't particularly like. None of this me adding to your clutter. I will share with you guys. So I'm a Beth Destination Decluttered Decluttering Life Coach. And I show up here on TikTok. I got a website, do one-on-one coaching, mailing list, all that kind of stuff. I am cool with this, but I will share with you. There are so many ways that I could create products that could make me money. There are. I could do like an official version of the notebook I coach with. I could do, mugs. I've tried stickers, things like that. I don't want to add to the clutter of your life. And I know also sometimes we feel like we buy the magnet, we buy the notebook, we do it because we want to support somebody. That's good. But what I would love for you to do is to just learn how to declutter your life and keep it that way. There are other ways you can support me. If you like me and you like what I do, there's different ways you can do that. I don't want to add to your clutter though. So maybe mugs. I mean, mugs are useful. I could do mugs, but you would need to promise. You'd need to like sign a little check mark. I promise that when I buy this mug, I'm going to then donate 3 mugs that I don't like out of my own thing, out of my own collection. Yeah, exactly. Mia saying 1 in, 1 out. I love it. I love it. I'm quoting you. You said it on a live once. I love it. Here's a cool thing, Erin. I love this because I do these TikTok lives a wicked lot. So even though I just said I'm outside of Destiny, sorry, I'm getting distracted because I'll be honest with you. Here, I'm totally digressing, and I just want to share with you because I'm getting myself distracted because I put 2 tea bags in my tea, and I just realized it's really getting bitter. So so here's a funny thing. Look at this. It's like a mama cup and a baby cup. This one was too small. This might be just right size for somebody, too small. This one is freaking huge. This is too big. I like a mug that's just right. But this one that's too small, I like the sign of it, and it reminds me of when I went to Ireland. But I don't want to use it because it'd be like sip, sip, I'm done. So I actually keep my highlighters in it. But now at least it was a place for me to put my tea bags. But I digress. 1 in, 1 out. I love it. So here's the thing. What was I saying? Hold on. I had it. Talking about, doing the TikTok lives all the time. You know what I love about that, Erin? I am not denying I said that. I say things all the time, and it's not that I don't mean them, but I speak from the heart. So sometimes I say things, and my ears kind of like, I know what I'm saying, and I believe it to be helpful, so I share it. But I don't necessarily retain what I say, but I love it when I hear that what I have said, you heard with your ears and it stuck with you. That to me is like the highest form of flattery. The one notch up from that though, the highest form of flattery would you be hearing something from me, and that inspired you to take action and kind of, as I like to say, drive in the direction of your destination, drive towards your dreams type of thing. So thank you for letting me know what I'm doing is helping you. Yeah, more good, less ungood. What can you do today, everybody, with that phrase? More good. How can I get more good in my day? Even today. If there's ungood, how can I make the ungood more good? I don't know. Something you're kind of dreading doing? Look forward to it. Hey, Abbott Elementary is in the Miami airport. Love it. Catherine is loving my jacket. I will share with you. I am like a robe queen. I know I got this from my mother, and living in New England cold, you get used to wrapping something around yourself, right? I like to have my arms covered. I don't like it when my arms get chilly. Frankly, at this age, I don't particularly like how my arms look either, but that's another story. But I like having kind of a robe. I was thinking about it, like what to call this cotton robe. I call it a robe. I guess some people could call it, it was not a caftan, because that's the one you pull over, but like a kimono type dealie. But I like to just have something on top, a little layer. So thank you. And this is my summer one. I bought this a couple of years ago when I was on kind of a girls' weekend with a friend of mine up in Hudson, New York. And I like it. So thank you for noticing. And yes, look at me. I'm not wearing all black. I'm not wearing a hoodie. It's no longer hoodie season. Do more good. Yeah, more good. Yep. Duster, wrap. Yeah, could be a duster. Here's a funny thing. In a way, it's kind of like a house coat. But we think of weird things when we think of a house coat. Oh, my grandmother in her house coat. It's like a jacket, a little whatever. But regardless of what I call it, it doesn't need to have a name. I enjoy it. Makes me feel good. I put around it. It's got pockets, people. It's got pockets, and it's got like, this is the tie, if I feel like tying it around me. But enough about me and my robe. I'm here for you, okay? We have 50 minutes left of the hour, and let's do some good stuff today. What can we do? What would be good? What could we all do good with the time we have right now from 8 o'clock, 8:10 a.m. Eastern to 9 a.m. Eastern? Now notice what I just did. I asked a question. Okay, it went from my head to my heart, like, oh yeah, this might be kind of fun to ask this question and see what comes up. See what comes up. I ask it for words. I listen, I pause. Now I'm going to pause and give you a chance to ask, what could I do? What can we do today with this time that would be feeling good for you? If you want to write it in the comments, write it in the comments. You don't have to, though. Do that thing. Do that thing. Now, a couple of ideas I know. For me, I would love it if during this time right here, I shared with you some ideas, some thoughts, some words in your head that made you think about your clutter differently, that made you think about stuff differently. And when I mean stuff, not just clutter, but think about things, look at things from a different perspective. Knowing how, for example, you can't change the past, but you can change the story you tell about the past to make you feel better about it. Notice how stuff is just stuff, that stuff can weigh you down, but stuff can also, unloading the stuff can lighten you up. Anything that you're feeling that isn't so good, that you're feeling kind of heavy and down and stuck, I want you to know that there's an opposite to that. That's not the only story. There's a flip side to that, my friend, and it's a better song, makes you feel better, and when you feel better, you do better. So I would love it at the end of this time together, you heard some stuff that stuck with you, and you carried it with you, an idea that was planted in your head, that you planted a seed in your head, to just start looking at things differently. When you look at things, you look at it, but you're telling yourself a different story about it. That the story you're telling about it maybe isn't that automatic story that comes popping up, oh, that's that thing somebody gave me. But you said, you know what, that's the automatic story. What's the story I want to write about that thing? What's a story? What's something I can tell myself that makes me feel better about whatever it is that I'm doing with that thing, either keeping it or removing it from my life? Okay? That's me now. So this is why I show up, and this is, notice the energy I show up in. Now, we all have our energies, and think of it as a smell. Think of it as I'm showing up in the energy of, hey, you, what's going on? I'm happy to see you. I'm psyched about the day. I am here just for you. I'm not here like, look at me, let me show you all my, look at this one, look at that one, look at this one, look at that one. I could actually, somebody said they wanted a tour of this one, look at that one, look at this one, look at that one. Whatever, I'm here for you. So what do you want? I love that question. It took me decades to ask myself that question, dare to answer it, and then do something about what I wanted. Decades, people, decades. So if you're saying, I don't know what I want to do, that's okay. I've been there. What if I don't know was just kind of a toss away? Like, okay, now that we got that out of the way. Erin, you know how I'm not good at the sports thing. I was talking about putting the ball in your other court. So I think of tennis a lot. But I think of this one. I guess it's a sporty thing. Golf, you've got a mulligan. Like you get it, okay, that's out of the way, let's start again. What if you did know what you want? What if you wrote it down? You don't need to tell anybody else. You don't even need to write it in the comments here, but ask yourself what you want. Listen for the answer. Listening kind of happens here, but really you're listening for what's going on down here. Write that down. Okay? All right, we got some good stuff here in the comments that I want to read. I read the comments out loud so that if you are using this time, this 8:15 to 9 a.m. Eastern, where I am, to do something good for yourself, then by all means do it. I can keep you company. I can just be the voice. Hear my voice in your head and think of me kindly. I can be like the voice in your head as you're puttering around doing stuff. So I read the comments and then I respond to them. That's also for, as I always mention, the Destination Decluttered TikTok live recordings on YouTube. It gives context because you don't see the stuff going by you. Okay, so Catherine says the yard is torn up from cleaning out the flower beds. Gonna get on that today. All right, Catherine, how can you make that more fun for you today? Maybe it was fun yesterday, tearing up the yard, cleaning out the flower beds. Maybe that was fun and you're dying to get back in there. But here's something I'm asking you, and you know what makes things fun. And I ask this of everybody. Whatever you're doing today, how can you make it more good, less ungood? More fun, less dread. More looking ahead, looking forward to it, less dread ahead type of thing. Okay. Preparation. Love it. 3 bags going to Goodwill today. Becky, I love we're all using the Rosie the Riveter because we can do this. I love that feeling. Yeah. Rochelle Ray says, yesterday I went through totes of my son's things with him on FaceTime because he lives far from me. What a freaking awesome idea, Rochelle. What a free... Everybody, you got stuff in your house, your kids live far away, you don't want their stuff? FaceTime them. Be like, here, I'll take you on a grand tour. Look at this one. Look at that one. What do you got? What do you want? Do you want this? Do you want it? No. And sometimes, honestly, the distance, the physical distance from the two of you, so you're not kind of, there's the energy, there can be some distance between the energy, so they may feel safe to say, no, I don't want it, and yes, I do. That may help. Try it. You like it. Okay? Cat Mama saying, loving the day starting with the live. Yeah, me too. I really do enjoy this. It's going to be interesting next week, I think, for many of us who get in the habit, back in the habit again, get in the habit of us showing up doing a morning TikTok live, because next week I won't be doing them. Not because I don't love you guys. I think you're awesome. But I also think I am awesome, and I want to go on vacation. And it's going to be funny because sometimes I will share this with you. I've been traveling and I have some free time and I'm like, I like doing this, but you know what I'm used to doing that I enjoy too? I enjoy doing TikTok lives. The time zone thing is going to be way different though. Way different because I am East Coast right now. I am going to be the westest coast of the United States because I'm going to Hawaii next week. So I won't be doing TikTok lives from there because I can't even do the math at this point. The time math is not my strong suit. However, later on in the second kind of quarter of my little travel-y travs, I'm going to be in New England. So there might be some TikTok lives happening from that. But this is a good way to start the day. Good way to start your day is saying, what do I want to happen today? And listening to yourself, writing that down and making it happen. What's going to make me feel better in this room right here? Well, I could put away that stuff. I could deal with that paperwork that I just am dragging my feet on. I might not. I'm human, just like you. I'm only human. But notice what's going to make you feel good today and doing it. Okay, Miss Julie, here, let me help you with this. This is how can I help you with this? I worked in retail. It's kind of my go-to. But when I see somebody struggling and I have the tools to help them, holy for Jolies, I want to help you. Miss Julie is saying, I struggle with just starting. Okay, no big deal. I can help you with that. I feel like, notice this, just starting, struggle. I feel a struggle. A little push me, pull you. I'm struggling. I feel like I need a big plan, but lists overwhelm me. How about this? I'm going to rewrite your thing a little bit because this is what I'm seeing. I think I need a big plan, but when I think I need a big plan, when I think that thought, I need a big plan, words, I need a big plan, those words in my head make me feel overwhelmed. Notice the difference. I feel like I need a big plan. No, you don't. You feel like you need a small plan. Instead of the big plan, the thought of big plan is making you feel stressed out, overwhelmed, anxious, whatever. So let's talk about that. Let's flip it. All big plans come from really small plans kind of put together. Think about it road trip style. I've got a plan to go from Pennsylvania to Palm Springs. That's a big plan. There's a wicked lot of states in between. There's a wicked lot of roads. I got to do a wicked lot of driving. Can you tell I'm from Mass? Chunk it down, okay? But notice this. When you're feeling struggly, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're not feeling good physically or energetically, nervous system-y, when you're not feeling like you're in the right head or heart space to do this, let's play with that first. Let's make you feel better. You have tools you can do that. This is what I call kind of all the downs. So write that down, all the downs, because overwhelm is over your head. To feel better, you have to go from over to down. So let's do that. We breathe down. We slow down. We quiet down. We calm down. We settle down. Almost like you're like a bottle with like sand in it or something. And like with sand and water and it's all shooken up. And you just get quiet and still. And then the sand settles down. You breathe down into the bottom of your lungs. You quiet down. Maybe you quiet where you are. Maybe you shut the windows. Maybe you put in earbuds. I do this sometimes. Maybe you walk out to your car and shut the doors and lock it nice and quiet. Even right now, I swear, the outside's right here. I don't hear the cars. I hear birds. Does that feel better? That's a tool, everybody, it's free. See, I'm not making any money off this. I don't want to because it's free. Butterflies are free to fly. Fly away, fly away. Calm down your nervous system. Feel better. When you feel better, you're going to be more prepared to do better. So when you feel better, that should always be your first step. The more I coach, the more I learn. You can't just start with defining your destination, because if you're feeling all activated, like zing, I don't know, porcupine, hackles, that's not the best place to make a plan. But when you feel better and you're like, I got this, a little quiet morning, a little cup of tea, a little notebook on your side, then you can write it down. You can chunk it down. And I say down and chunk it down. Big plans. No, have big plans, but chunk them down into smaller bits. The chunking down makes it feel doable. There's that weird old story you're saying about how to eat an elephant. Not all at once, one bite at a time. Oh, who wants to eat an elephant? But what it means is starting with one step. Starting with one little thing. Chunk that MF down until it feels comically easy. So Miss Julie, just starting. I want you to think of someplace you want to start. There's really no right or wrong place to start decluttering, because how you declutter one section of your home is how you declutter every section. Name one room and look around and play I Spy with my little eye. Let's make it fun. I spy with my little eye something that bugs me in this room that I can do something about that's wicked simple. Trash goes out, something gets thrown away, something gets put away. Chunk it down to really small things, and then do those really small things. The really small things add up. I love this analogy. Think of $100. That's a big chunk. Think each $100 bill, it equals 100 $1 bills. We've chunked it down. Each one of those $1 bills is 100 pennies. Pennies, people, pennies, individuals, you, me, one step, one penny, then another penny, then another penny, then another penny. Then you have $1, then you have $2. Baby stepsing it over and over again is how you get there. Everything can be reduced down to a single next step. So let's do that. Let's make it fun and doable. Okay? Miss Julie and everybody, I hope that helps. I know it has been a game changer for me. I grew up in an anxious household. My mother literally said to me when I was up in Mass recently, I think I was born a nervous wreck. And now you know that is from her lips to my lips because nervous wreck is such a family phrase in my family that you know it's true. I can't make this shit up, people. And I turned to her. I remember driving. I don't know where we were. I drove and I was like, yeah, you know what? I think you were. And I think, boy, did I get, I was a fraidy cat from ages 0 to like 30, maybe 28. When did I ask my first husband for a divorce? But I digress, okay? But notice, when you're feeling nervous, when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling overwhelmed, that's a feeling, and it's often caused by a thought in your head. Words in your head can cause a feeling. The cool thing is, different words in your head, words that you write, words that you want to hear, like, I got this, I can do this, I'm worthy. Any good thoughts that you create, listening to them makes you feel better, and when you feel better, you're going to do better. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, Danielle Z, I've been dreading work lately. I need to remove it from my life. Okay, trust me, Danielle, I know you work retail. I do not envy you, my dear. Retail, I know, is probably more sucky than it was when I worked it for decades. I bet there's parts of your job that you enjoy, though. Maybe if it's even just getting paid and maybe having health insurance. I don't know. That's one of the things that being an entrepreneur, I'm like, oh my God, are you killing me? I have to pay all these taxes? I can't subsidize my health insurance. Like, this kind of sucks. So I remember when I was struggling for years, trying to do my own thing, it was a relief to have a job that took care of so much of that stuff for me. Now, there was a trade-off, but think of the things you do like about your job. Can you do more of those? Is there a way to minimize the stuff or make the stuff you don't particularly enjoy more tolerable? I used to have to wake up at like 5:30 in the morning and drive to the Pier 1 imports in Woburn, Massachusetts, and at 6 a.m. literally wax and buff the floors. Not all the time. It was like once a week. There was a schedule for it. I didn't particularly like it, but you know what I liked? Not having to deal with customers, it being quiet, seeing the before and after of the crappy floor, the mop, and then the buff. How can you make the stuff that you don't like to do slightly more likable? Just get curious about that question and see what comes up for you. Write that stuff down. All right? Yes, Regina Havens is saying, I love that I can decide my story. I love that you use the word decide. I can make a choice. I can decide to hear that automatic, unhelpful backseat driver. You're doomed. You're too late. It's too old. It's never worth it. Blah. We're doomed. If I listen to that like I did for the first 20 plus years of my life, your life ends up a certain way. When you realize you can think something different, when you can write down something different. And it doesn't have to be a belief. I always get confused about beliefs and thoughts and all that kind of stuff. I just say words in your head. If you listen to them and you feel better, you'll do better. Notice the words in your head. Do they make you feel good? Do they make you feel like crap? I show up on firmly on the side of words to make you feel better. Because when you feel better, you do better. And when you do better, you feel better. And when you feel better, you do better. It's notice this kind of nice cycle. When you're thinking crappy and feeling crappy, you're stuck. You're hanging on to stuff. You're not moving. You're dreading. You're dragging. When you think better, you feel better. When you feel better, you do better. It is that simple. Okay? I love it. Becky says, I get overwhelmed easily, but then I hear your voice. Hear my voice in your head and think of me kindly, okay? Chunk it down. So helpful. It is, and that's why I share it, guys. I share it because it was a foreign concept to me. And then I was like, wait, what? No, huh? And then I was chunking it down. And then I realized, I'll share with you, when I chunked it down, I realized that there were things that I was afraid of, different chunks I was afraid of, that brought up fear in me. I'm afraid. I am literally afraid to make, I am so much better at, I used to have a phobia practically about making phone calls. I dreaded it. I avoided it. Even right now, it's not the easiest thing. But I find if I can do the step, and I used to have to, one of my jobs, I had to call people up and interview them to create their websites. And it was like this feeling of dread. How can I make this easier? As soon as they were on the phone, I was okay. It was just a lot of it leading up to it. But finding out what little step activates you and then saying, okay, it's this little bit. What can I do to change this little bit? So notice these things. And then you can work on it on a small scale. Okay? I love this. Awesome Sauce is saying, I've decluttered 19 bags this month so far with inspiration from your videos. Thank you. I love that what I'm doing, you're picking up what I'm putting down and it's helping you. Notice that was my goal for our time together today. It's already 8:30 in the morning where I am, Eastern Seaboard time, WJIB on the waterfront time, ding ding. to help you with my time. I'm not here to be like, look at this one, look at that one, look at me, all the stuff I do, or to sell you some random thing. I will share with you, I am so sensitive to feel like I'm being sold to. I am hyper vigilant about that. That's why I just don't do it for you guys. You know, I have one-on-one coaching. That's the only thing I get paid for, is working with one-on-one clients. I love it. You know that I do that, and I'm here for you when you are ready for paid coaching. Other than that, I'm not trying to sneak in, oh, well, it's only $5 a month to do this, and that doesn't work for me. So I like to show up to help you. Honestly, feeling comfortable with me and seeing this works might encourage you to want to become a one-on-one client. So there's that. But even if it doesn't, the fact that I show up and I model the behavior, as they would say in the biz, of talking to you nicely, encouragingly, without judgment, with possibility and encouragement. And when that kind of rubs off on you, when you feel the difference, when you hear those words and you feel the difference, then you're doing stuff. That's the magic of coaching. That's the magic of learning how to do this all the time. And not just when I show up for an hour here and an hour there on TikTok, because I do that, but knowing how to do that for yourself at any time of the day for the rest of your life. That's a skill. That's something that when you practice it, it gets better. And all paid coaching does is gives you, they call it a container in coaching. I freaking hate that word. Makes me think of like Tupperware, a container. And I hate jargon. What coaching does is a package. It's like a set amount of time to practice certain behaviors and to screw up while you're doing it and have somebody there not judging you, saying, no big deal, let's try it again. No big deal, let's try it again. Oh, look at you, cheering you on, your wins, getting curious about what's jamming you up so we can problem solve it, and saying, no big deal, let's try it again. Get up, you fell on the ice, get up, try again. Having a nice little framework, a little parentheses. We start here, 10 sessions. It could end there, or if you like more sessions, I have clients on their second, third, and fourth packages. That's how it works, to help you practice being a different person. Now, all of you use, every single iteration of you is worth love. So love you from who you were to who you are now. Love who you are. Love who you're going to be. Okay, Rochelle is saying, I noticed that the chunk of my childhood toys was making me feel stuck. Yeah, you know why? It's not surface clutter. It's not stored clutter, though. It's probably stored somewhere. It's sentimental. Gets you in the feels. Trust me, I will share this from you. I had a toy that I had since I was a kid. I used to call him Kitty with a pacemaker, though now I was looking at it, and strangely enough, I was like, is it really a kitty, or is it a teddy bear with pointy ears? It was all worn away. The little, I said it was Kitty with pacemaker because it had like a, like a music box inside it. Music box didn't work. I don't have any kids I'm going to hand it off to. It sat in a box, and I was like, Kitty, this isn't really doing for you. So you know what I did? I did it. I threw it away. I gave it a nice little burial at sea. Thank you, Kitty. I loved you, but I don't need you. I'm 58 years old, and every time I see you, I just go, ugh, what am I going to do with you? And I said, thank you for your service, and I did it. It didn't feel 100% awesome when I did it, but I feel better having done it, and now I just don't feel that dread. So I know the feeling of doing that. All right? Allison Crow says, okay, you are funny too. Oh, you don't even know the half of it. I went to the Fozzie Bear School of comedy, so there's a lot of waka waka. I am Gen X like nobody's business, so I am a steady stream of pop culture references, songs, and commercials that probably nobody remembers except for us Gen X people. It's like hearing, it's like smelling something nobody else can smell. It's like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, I'm the sole survivor. Thanks for the gumball, Popeye. You know, yeah, okay, see, good. See, Becky, see, I'm just sharing what has worked with me and what has worked with my clients. I share it with you to see maybe it will work for you. Here, I've got this thing, sharing it. I just like to share. I like to discover and share. I've realized that feeling of finding something cool and sharing it has been the MO behind so many things I've done. And when I realized that that's what it is, I can do that in many different ways. So yeah, Becky's saying, yes, I have the same feeling about a bear that I have. I like the burial idea, and thank you. Allison's been a coach for 20 years. You were refreshing just what I needed this morning. Here I am. Adelia saying Gen X are here too. Yeah, I will share Allison. I was very reticent to get into the coaching biz because I saw, and I don't know you, so this is, do not take this personally. It was more, look at me, look at me, look at me. I am showing up unwashed, no makeup on, in my robe with my tea, very casually, because I don't like corporate stuff. I looked at the coaching business and I saw people in suits and heels and on a stage with like that stupid microphone that looks like a nude Q-tip. And I was like, I don't want to be that. If that's what I have to do to be a coach, I'm not going, I'm not, it'll be so disingenuous, so not me, so ungenuine, so unauthentic, so not me. I'd be showing up lying from the very get-go. And then I said, do I have to show up that way? Is there another way? And then me said, yeah, just try it. Show up as yourself. Show up. Be who you are. It's so much easier. Maybe I'm just lazy. I can't put on a front, And so far, so good. I know I would resonate with somebody being real. I don't like fake people, phonies, So I am really glad that I decided to experiment with things my own way and not saying, oh, if that's the way you have to get there, I don't want to get there. It's like seeing rich people. I'll just share this one. This popped into my head, so I'll share it with you. One of the things, and I know this is more kind of like money mindset stuff that I like to just really think about because I find it's fascinating, is I have had the luck to be in situations and surrounded by people who are literally multi-millionaires in the Hamptons in the summer, going to crazy off-the-hook parties, and then saying, oh, but if I get rich, is this what I'm going to have to be? I don't want to be a Hamptons rich person. Now, the answer is like, no, you can do whatever you want. But when you see that being rich is a certain way, you might not want to be that way, so then you don't do the things to get yourself rich. Just a food for thought. You can do this any way you want. Your house can look any way you want. You can keep what you want. You can get rid of what you want. It's all up to you. You can put on display things like, look at this. Look at me. Look at me. This isn't stuff you buy at IKEA. I've got my what is it? Like this used to have a wig in it. This is a book I read. I don't even know. This is a purse somebody made. That's a picture I think I took back in the 90s. This is an old thing I thrifted. You can do whatever you want. So if I say to you, you can do whatever you want, then you would say to yourself, okay, but what do I want? I look up here to do it because I've written this down for myself with a little smiley. To be like, what do I want? Now, we're not encouraged to think this way. No, especially if you're ladies. We are not. What do others want? How can I help you? Now, I'm good with where I am. That I have energy and just good stuff to share. I just want to spread the love, people, because I am so good with where I am and where I'm going, and I love it, love it, love it, that I'm here to be like, come along for the ride. Let's go on this road trip together. Debbie says, I love how real you are, like we're sitting having coffee with you. I love it. And we are so real that I will share with you. I'm not a coffee drinker, even though I love coffee ice cream, but I'm a tea drinker. And look at how freaking huge this mug is. This is so funny. I feel like a little kid. Like looking over the mug at you. All right. Danielle is saying, your TikToks and encouragement is changing my mindset and the way I look at things. Yeah. And this is the real, I love the parallels. Like, I just love getting under the hood. I don't want things to just look good. Like, I've got all these, I always think of the clear acrylic containers that people are hawking to be like, look at your pantry, look at my Cheerios, look at my rice, like all this kind of stuff. If you don't know why you are cluttered, you're going to reclutter again. If you don't know why you don't have good systems in your house, you're going to keep up with the bad systems, and you just may not have the skills right now. Totally not judgment. You don't know what you don't know, but I know what you don't know because I have lived in this space all my life. Now, I haven't applied a lot of what I used to apply what I learned in retail visual merchandising, so my house looked really good. So very early age, I was an art major, and a visual merchandiser and kind of a punk rocker. So I've always had that kind of Pee-wee's Playhouse, Monkey's Beach House apply to, like, I don't want my house to look traditional. I don't want anything that has to do with Pottery Barn, all that crap. That's me, though. That's me. Not, I don't, if you're Pottery Barn and you love it, I am not judging. I'm saying for me, I have gotten comfortable with making good visual choices. Things look good on the surface. However, don't open that closet. It's a hot mess. Don't open up here. This is a hot mess. It has only been in the last 10 to 15 years, maybe 22, 25, since I've known my husband, incrementally then and kind of expanding, where I have kind of dared to, car metaphors, use them all the time, pop the hood and see what's going on underneath. Say, why am I not getting to where I want to go? Why is my car not moving? Now, does it have to do with my car itself? Is there a disconnect under the hood? Or is it me as a driver being afraid to even get in gear? Feeling safe enough to answer those questions and getting help myself. I've gotten coaching. I've paid for coaching. I would do it again. I know how much that was just you ever played Candyland? I think it was Candyland or Chutes and Ladders, one of those, where you're like, okay, well, I can do this and go or I can take the shortcut and zoop to the top. Paid coaching is like, actually, somebody did a testimonial on my testimonials page on my website, destinationdecluttered.com, saying coaching is like being in the HOV lane. You know, like you pay to, you know what I mean? Or the express lane. Easy pass. Okay, instead of waiting in line to pay the tolls, you pay a little bit more and you get through. That's what coaching does. It is a shortcut to being where you want to be. And not just getting to the destination, but having the skills. Coaching teaches you skills. I teach you and help you problem solve so you get used to looking at a thing and saying, if you got a problem, I'll solve it. I wish I wasn't having to quote Vanilla Ice. That's just where my brain goes. Okay? I love it. Allison Crow is saying, it's gross, not you, the coaching world. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? There's room for all of us. You're a girl next door. I don't know. Who knows? I'm like the wacky aunt. I don't even know who I am, but I like who I am. So I got that going for me. Awesome sauce. I've been giving rid of items to people I no longer wish to speak to. Very freeing. Yeah. Tearing up pictures of people you don't like anymore. Hello, ex-husband. Love it. It severs any last strings they might have. Yeah, notice the strings attached thing. Notice these things. Notice somebody gives you a gift that has strings attached. I always think of these as tiny little gossamer kind of spider web threads. You may not even see them, but they're there. Because if there's something in your house that somebody gave you that you don't like the thing, that means there's a string attached to it. And maybe they don't have the string attached. Maybe you attached a string. I can't let go of, I can't donate this thing because somebody gave it to me. And I feel guilty. I feel obligated. I fear getting in trouble if they visit and that thing is no longer in the house. Because I'm going to have to admit to them I didn't like what they gave me and I gave it away. I love it. Ms. Prentice says, came for the decluttering help, stay for the pop culture references. And how? Now I know that's for something, but yeah, so it's just really fascinating to me. And I think that's the reason why, like, I could make money doing something else. I could spend my time doing other things, but I find it fascinating and like nourishing and so cool to think about stuff. I remember even before I started coaching, the way I grew up with my friends, we would kind of get into like not arguments, but discussions and talk about stuff and wrestle with ideas. That's when my brain comes alive. When it is like Frampton comes alive. My brain comes alive when it's like, ooh, how can we make this better? What can we think about? Isn't that interesting? I just learned something. That's when my brain is like, yes. My brain doesn't like being a filing cabinet. I think I even might write this down. I think I took a note myself about like the surface clutter in my head, the stored clutter in my head, and the sentimental, the deeper levels. And I love it when I'm using my brain the way my brain is supposed to be used. Now, I can't choose what it remembers, so it remembers a lot of pop culture from the 60s, 70s, and beyond. But I also know nowadays not to clutter it up with stuff, to clear away that clutter so that kind of clear, pure channel of brain activity can change the world. You know, Teresa Griffin says your enthusiasm is contagious. Thank you. You know what? Yeah, here, have some enthusiasm. Notice enthusiasm is like an energy. And when you feel enthusiastic, how could you channel that energy? Here, I've got some, I'll give you half. Where is that going to take you? That half a gas tank of enthusiasm, before you even start driving, or putting on your air brakes as the truck outside, before you even start driving, where do you want to go? Now, this is the reason I am so freaking grateful that this brain right here said, why don't you change the name of your coaching? I was calling it Just Drive Your Life, and that, that might be a name of a book or like it's the thing I write, but I love calling my coaching Destination Decluttered. Because when you say, okay, I've got this enthusiasm, I've got this energy in my tank, if you don't know where you're driving, you may not, you can't, what do I want to say? You might be just wasting that energy. You might be spinning in circles. You may be spinning in the mud. But if you know where you're going and you know what to do, then you're going to be driving towards that. Okay? Sorry about this, people. Hope you don't hear it. But I live on a busy corner. In a small house on a busy corner. But boy, do I love it. Alrighty. See? Janet. All right. This is when I think people can be shitty. So don't be a shitty person. When somebody gives you a gift and they're checking up on you. Oh, where's that thing I gave you? My mother-in-law, Janet's mother-in-law, asked us where her gift was when she visited. It's at the Goodwill. Yeah. It was a giant bowl. Never used it, and it was impossible to store. Yeah. Don't notice how that feels to be on the receiving end of like a guilt gift, of an obligation gift, a strings attached thing. And check with your own energy when you are giving gifts and ensure, double check that there's no strings attached. That if you give something to somebody, you say that, you can say it overtly. I hope you like this, but if you don't, feel free to give it away. I will not be hurt. I thought you might like this. Here, I thought you might like this, but if you don't, I will not be offended. I was thinking of you in love. That's why I'm giving you a gift. But I promise to not be offended if what I give you, you do not care for. So be the kind of person you want to see in the world. Yeah, my mom always wanted to see what she gave us or our shelf wearing it. Yeah, I think that's kind of a crappy way to be. So even myself, I will be overt. I will send things to people. I will give things to people. And I will always put the overt disclaimer. If you don't want it, feel free to throw it in the trash. I do not care. But I was thinking of you, and part of me thought you might enjoy this thing. Having the conversations with the gift givers, you may not be able to change them. But here's the thing. You can change how you feel about it. You can change what you do in those situations. You can play into the guilt and hang on to the things, and your house will be filled with things you don't like. Things that if you had your choice, you wouldn't have in there. I just want to remind you, you have a choice. You have a choice. But it means standing up for yourself. It means asking yourself, what do I want? And sometimes the answer of what do I want is, I want a house that does not have that thing in it. I don't want, you know what I want? None of this. Standing up for yourself can be scary. But you know what's scarier? It's getting to be like 80, 90, 100 years old and looking back and being like, damn, I wish I had stood up for myself. I wish I had done the things I wanted to, even if it was situationally uncomfortable. Mother-in-law, gift. Oh, you know what? Oh, thank you so much for thinking of us. Yeah, you know what? We used it for a little bit and it just wasn't working for us. So and then you donated it, you sold it, you gave it to a friend who really enjoyed it. Whatever you say to them is kind of after, but you're standing up for yourself saying, thank you for thinking of me, but no, it didn't work out. And that's okay. All right? That's okay. All right, Kara. Hey, Kara. Hope the weather's nice up in Mass. Decluttered my backyard yesterday. Gifted a plant. Junk to the trash. Gifting stuff today. I love it, Kara. Rock on. Kara has been decluttering her yard and home so that she can plant what she wants in her life. Plant the plants in her garden that she wants. I did that in this plant. When we first moved here, I was like, I love daffodils, but I don't want them planted there. We planted them inside. I love these yucca plants because they go with the wacky house that we have. So we expanded the yuccas. I love daylilies. Now some people call them ditch lilies. They're free. I love them. To me, they're one of my favorite things. That bright kind of jazz hands of yellow, of orange, cheers me up. So we have a bunch of them on the side of the yard. Plant what you want to see in your life. Plant those plants. Decide what you want. If you don't know what you want, spend the time. Pay attention to yourself. Asking yourself what you want. Quieting down your backseat driver so you can listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart and write down what it says. It's a game changer, people. I love it. Crystal Wren says, I love gift cards for dinner, not stuff at Christmas. Yeah, isn't that fun? German Maid even says, I don't like getting gifts anymore unless it's baked goods or gift cards. Don't need more stuff. Yes, so also be mindful, people, when you are giving gifts. If you are here talking to me, Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach, I'm going to do a quick commercial plug after this, but I just want to finish my thought because I tend to digress like that. A little bit of ADHD going on in my brain, but I love it. What I want to say is also notice, if you're struggling with clutter, people you know may be struggling with clutter too. So think twice about giving a gift that is a physical object. I repeat, if you're struggling with clutter, people you know may be struggling with it too. So don't be a clutter bug. Give a gift of time. Give a gift of an experience. Give a gift of something that is going to not have a long time. Baked goods, they won't last in our house. Food, eaten. Chocolates, consumed. Snacks, snacked. Flowers, displayed until they go bye-bye. So check yourself. If you're struggling with stuff, and here's this thing too, I think about this. My nephew is graduating high school in like 2 weeks. I had a book I thought of giving him. And I said, you know what? I want to break the generational curse of our family or habits of collecting stuff. I want to set him off and my nieces off in the world, unencumbered, light, able to move from place to place and not have to pack up crap. So you know what I did? I said, no, I'm not going to give him that book. I'm going to give him an experience for his graduation. We're going to talk about what he wants. And, within reason, we're going to make it happen because that's what I did with his sister. And she loved it because I listened to her. I heard her say what she wanted and I made it happen. I'm good like that. Because I've learned how to do it myself and I know how that feels. When you're listened to and acknowledged and it happened, holy mother of God. My husband now, I remember him giving me gifts for a birthday. Crap, I was in my 30s. He listened to me. I wasn't saying, here's what I want for my birthday, but I spoke to him. He listened, and there was a gift bag. I get choked up about it right now thinking about it. He freaking listened to me and gave me the things that I wanted. Nobody else, I feel like nobody else had ever listened to me. No, you don't want that. You want this. No, you don't want that. That's weird. No, you don't want that. No. I've stopped thinking of what I wanted. But I felt comfortable with him. I'm like, oh, that's really cute. I really like this. Oh, this is neat. I still have many of those things. I can think of 2 of them off the top of my head. Listen to yourself and give yourself what you want. Listen to other people. Give them your time. Give them your attention. Give them your love. Those are things that cost nothing and they don't clutter up, but what they do is they fill up your heart. Yeah. So just think about this. When you're thinking about your own struggle with stuff, break the habit of gifting stuff. Yeah, consumables. Yeah, I am the cool aunt. You know what I think of? Here's a funny thing. I'll share a story. I love it. Gail, I got to shout out to you because you rock on, because you made a call to the DMV. If that isn't something that is worth, like, never mind a high 5, a high 10. Started a load of laundry, now ironing. You got it. There we go. All right, buy them groceries. Yep, all these good things. Cooking or bathing flags. So Becky R., I will share with you the cool aunt thing. Now, this is going to be a little bit revealing of my life. Pop culture references twice over. Okay, Brady Bunch. Anybody ever watch the Brady Bunch? We used to watch it on Channel 56 in the afternoon. I never saw it. I'm not old enough. I'm not boomer or Generation Jones to have watched it when it was at nighttime. I got like the reruns in the mid 70s on Channel 56. And there was an episode where it was Aunt Jenny, where Jan finds the picture of Aunt Jenny and they look alike when they're kids, but then Aunt Jenny shows up and she's kind of wacky looking and, oh, but she's ugly. But then you find out, Imogene Coca, I think, that she's actually a really cool aunt, that she's got princes like wanting to marry her and she's traveling the world. That's pretty much me. I have no kids. I love it. I travel the world with my husband and without my husband. Love it. And I was sharing this story once with a friend of ours from the music biz. I had forgotten temporarily, because this is one of my go-to stories about myself. Oh yeah, did you ever see that episode of the Brady Bunch? I'm kind of like that cool aunt, with the wacky house and the madcap adventures. Our friend from the music biz used to be on the Brady Bunch. And so there I'm like, oh, did you ever see that movie? Did you see that thing on the Brady Bunch? And as I'm seeing it, I'm like, oh shit, you were on the fucking show. Pardon me, I occasionally drop the bomb. You dropped a bomb on me. And actually he smiled and he's like, actually, no, I never watched it. I was on it, but I never really watched it. But so, yeah, so I'm like that cool aunt. I am a cool aunt. Yeah, and I love it. I knew from a very early age I did not want children. Did not want to be. Knew I would not be a good mom. Did not want to be. Love that I had the option to do that. Love being a cool auntie. There we go. Friday nights, Brady Bunch and Partridge Family. It's coming along in the song that we're singing. Come on, get happy. There we go. Oh, funny. Yeah, their voices were different. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. So, I love it. Mother of mini dinos. I'm cleaning the clutter that gets under the couch while listening. Awesome. See what I can help you do? See what I would love to, because we've only got like 3 minutes. Okay? Melissa, I've got a list a mile long. Chunk it down. Make it a foot long. A foot long, like a hoagie. At Wawa. I live in PA here. Go down to Wawa and get a hoagie, right? Chunk it down. If I put all of my lists together, they would probably go from here to the moon. I don't look at them that way though. I have them categorized. I have them on this thing called Trello. I have bunches of lists. I'm able to find what I'm looking for. But my kind of daily list is just what fits in the hours of my day, and I feel good about it, Julie Harmon, he played Cousin Oliver. Robbie Rist, Cousin Oliver, remember? Wah, wah. He was kind of like that, when they jumped the shark and they were trying to get new blood in it. Yeah. So, yeah, that was the Delco. That was totally putting on Karen. I was totally putting on the Delco because I was going to Wawa for a hoagie. Yeah. Aunt Mary Pat. We just saw Aunt Mary Pat this weekend, too. Jennifer saying, got living room done yesterday. Today is the kitchen, just cleaning the pantry. Notice Jennifer is chunking it down. Living room is a chunk. Kitchen is a chunk. Pantry is a chunk. A shelf can be a chunk. A drawer can be a chunk. A surface can be a chunk. An amount of time spent decluttering is a chunk. Chunk it on down now. Okay? And if you're exhausted, Melissa, chunk it down. Take care of yourself first. Here's something I say to myself, so I'll share it with you so you can play around with it and see how it feels in your own head. When I'm moving slowly, when I'm tired, when I don't even say unmotivated, but I'm a human body, and sometimes I have more energy than others. Sometimes I'm on caffeine and sunshine, and other times I'm hungover and it's gray and cold out. What I say to myself on days like that is, you know what? I'm going to take it at a pace that feels good to me. If I'm going to I want to hang out in bed and scroll on TikTok, I'm going to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to get up and I'm going to do something. Something is better than nothing. No thing. I'm going to do something today, and I'm going to move at a pace that feels right to me. And here's what I always say. I may be moving slowly, but I'm moving in the right direction. So maybe I don't do a lot, but I put laundry from the washer into the dryer. Maybe I fluff up the stuff in the dryer that's been there for a few days and I fold it. Maybe I put my folded laundry on the top of my bureau. Baby steps in it, chunking it down, feels doable. And when you feel like it's doable and you do it, you show yourself you've taken a step towards your destination. Chunk it down. Notice the word down comes up all the time. Comes up, down comes up. Whatever goes up comes down. And think about that. What can you do today? It's 9:00 a.m. I'm clocking out because I have coaching and consultations and some fun planned. Please don't forget to schedule fun in your day. Now, fun to me, I can make fun out of nothing. Okay? My husband I've been helping him declutter his music stuff because it's just sitting around, and if he's not using it, I'm like, where can it go? Where can it go? So he's got this rack today that we're dropping off at somebody's studio in like Bucks County. I looked at the point A and point B on my map. I'm like, well, we're here and he's there. Oh, you know what's in between there? It's a pizza place I've always wanted to go to. So you know what we're doing? We're going to drop that off, declutter. We're going to enjoy the ride, and we're going to have pizza in the middle of it. So I say this to you not to show off my awesome life. Look at this one. Look at that one. No. I say me and you. Us. I don't want to be the only person who loves their life on the planet. I'm sharing all of this with all of you. So we all have the house that looks like we want it to, declutter-wise. The place that feels good. I am sharing you all the tools that help me get to where I am today. And I've got a certain amount of privilege. I'm freaking, white. But I'm also left-handed and female, so we get the crunchy and the smooth. This is the stuff that worked for me. Here's my toolkit. I am sharing it with you so you can play around with it. And I want it to work for you too, okay? So on that note, a couple of things. Get on my mailing list, destinationdeclutter.com/join. It's free. There's cool stuff. When I'm away on vacation, the first people that are going to know when I'm doing TikTok lives, when I return, and get first dibs on coaching consultations are going to be the people on the mailing list. It's free. It's so low key. I do not clutter up your mail, your digital mailbox. destinationdeclutter.com/join. Now, if you want me as your one-on-one coach, I do that too. I don't know if I've got a couple of consultations, like literally I am clocking out on Friday because it's Memorial Day weekend and I'm a human, okay? I think I have maybe like 3 coaching consultation slots this week if you want to talk to me about coaching, if you want us to possibly work together. Look at my, it's on my website too, destinationdeclutter.com. After that, when you click on the calendar, it'll probably say nothing available because I'm off the grid. But when I get back, people on the mailing list get first dibs, okay? Alrighty, I gotta go. Even TikTok is telling me that I need to sign off because I'm doing this goofy thing with a puzzle piece. Verification complete. I'm gonna enjoy my pizza. You got this, people, okay? Smell you later, people. I'll see you. All right, bye. Like, bye. There we go. Bye.